Hello everyone. Have you ever wondered how many people living in one house is simply too many? Today we are going to explore the standards and health risks of residential overcrowding and how doctors and public health experts actually diagnose this hidden problem. Residential overcrowding happens when more people are living within a single dwelling than there is space for. This spatial deficit creates four major problems in daily life. Movement within the home becomes restricted, privacy becomes secluded and difficult to maintain, hygiene becomes almost impossible to sustain properly, and rest and sleep become very difficult to achieve. Overcrowding acts like a dual threat pathogen within the built environment, affecting both physical and mental health. On the physical side, it leads to high morbidity and mortality rates due to substandard living conditions. The main mechanism here is the rapid spread of respiratory infections in close quarters. This includes diseases like tuberculosis, influenza, and diphtheria. On the psychosocial side, overcrowding leads to unhappiness, which can progress into psychosomatic and mental disorders. The mechanism behind this is constant environmental friction between residents. This shows up as irritability, frustration, and anxiety. It also causes lack of proper sleep, and in severe cases, it can lead to violence within the household. It is important to note that children are disproportionately affected by these psychosocial impacts, making them a highly vulnerable group. So, how do we actually diagnose overcrowding in a clinical and standardized way? There is a three-pillar diagnostic framework that gives us accepted clinical standards. The first pillar is density, which looks at persons per room. The second pillar is area, which looks at floor space guidelines. And the third pillar is privacy, which looks at sex separation ethics. Let us look at the first standard in detail, which is persons per room or density. For one room, the maximum is 2 persons. For 2 rooms, the maximum is 3 persons. For 3 rooms, the maximum is 5 persons. For 4 rooms, the maximum is 7 persons. And for 5 or more rooms, the maximum is 10 persons, adding 2 more persons for each additional room beyond that. Now let us move to the second standard, which is floor space or area. If a person has 110 square feet or more of space, which is about 11 square meters, they are counted as 2 persons worth of space. If they have 90 to 100 square feet, that counts as 1.5 persons. If they have 70 to 90 square feet, that counts as 1 person. If they have 50 to 70 square feet, that counts as half a person. And if the space is under 50 square feet, it counts as nil or 0 persons. There is also an appendix to this area standard called the resident unit, which adjusts how each person is counted based on age. A baby under 12 months counts as 0 units. A child between 1 and 10 years old counts as 0.5 units. And a youth or adult above 10 years counts as 1 full unit. This weighting system allows for a more accurate calculation of true space requirements per household. Now let us look at the third standard, which is sex separation or privacy. This is assessed through a simple series of questions. First, are 2 persons obliged to sleep in the same room? If yes, we ask, are they of opposite sexes? If yes again, we ask, are they both over 9 years of age? If yes again, we ask, are they not husband and wife? If the answer to all of these questions is yes, then the diagnosis is confirmed. Overcrowding exists. To summarize everything we have discussed today, residential overcrowding is simply defined as more people than available space. Its functional breakdown affects movement, privacy, hygiene, and rest. The health burden includes physical illnesses like tuberculosis, influenza, and diphtheria, which carry high mortality. Criteria 1 on density follows the pattern of 1 room equals 2 persons. 2 rooms equals 3 persons, and so on. Criteria 2 on area follows the pattern of 70 to 90 square feet equals 1 unit, with babies counted as 0, children between 1 and 10 years counted as half a unit, and anyone above 10 years counted as 1 full unit. Criteria 3 on separation confirms overcrowding when 2 persons of opposite sex, both over 9 years old and not married to each other, are forced to share the same room. Hope you have understood about overcrowding standards and health risks. If you found this video useful, please watch and share with your friends and colleagues. Thank you.